you see my true form.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best baddies from Rick and Morty so far. For this list, we're exploring which villains left the biggest impression in the sci-fi animated series. We won't be looking at evil organizations, as they could have their own video.
Our single centralized galactic currency just went from being worth 1 of itself to 0 of itself.
Number 10. Lucius Needful. Amped up on jealousy of Summer's admiration for her boss, Rick meets the illustrious and dapper Lucius Needful at his vintage thrift shop containing power-filled items with ironic curses.
A price for everything, Mr. Goldenfold. A price for everything.
Oh my God! How can I not see this coming?
It doesn't take long for Rick to realize Needful is the devil. When he's offered a microscope and realizes it'll lower his IQ, Rick takes that super personally. He later creates a store with the sole purpose of removing Needful's curses, putting the downstairs ruler out of business.
Don't pay for cool stuff with your soul. Pay for it with money. You know, like how every other store in the world works.
But Needful wasn't down for long as he becomes a tech giant, then heel turns on Summer, who had been his biggest advocate. This doesn't go well for him, as Rick and Summer become beefy and beat him up.
How do you like that? How do you like that?
Why?
Number 9. The Alien Parasites. Imagine you come to the realization that everyone you love and with whom you have a lifetime of happy memories was nothing but a massive deception. Pretty devastating, right?
Everybody just relax for a second. There's no such thing as an Uncle Steve. That is an alien parasite.
But I've known him my whole life.
No, you haven't, Jerry.
Well, that was the case for the Sanchez-Smith family in the episode Total Recall. An alien parasite had infiltrated the family as quirky characters, implanting false memories of their relation to the humans.
But this house has been infested with fake loved ones that spread through fake memories, and our planet will be destroyed if they get out.
But Rick, even you have to admit, you do tend to overreact to stuff.
While Morty eventually figured out who his family was based on the terrible experiences he'd had with them, the parasites were so close to manipulating the family into letting them out of the house so they could take over the world. But alas, instead, the creatures met their demise with an epic Sanchez-Smith rampage.
Summer, I've always loved you!
Yep. Number 8. Heistotron. In an episode dedicated to the heist genre in One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Mort, Rick's invention Heistotron showcases its destructive capabilities alongside a library of convoluted thieving plans mashed together.
Heistotron, state your prime directive.
To heist.
Calculate Miles Knightley's current heist plan and add 1 double cross with a switcheroo.
Compiling crew members most likely to double cross.
After all, it double-crossed Rick and Morty and went on to destroy a planet by stealing its core. Then, it even nabs the Earth. It takes its antithesis, Randotron, a new crew, and Rick arguing with Heistotron for 2 hours to finally defeat the bot.
And I programmed you to believe that.
A most curious algorithm. It appears the only perfect heist is one that was never written. Goodbye.
Or does it? As it turned out, this was all Rick's plan to suck the joy of heists from Morty so he would tank his pitch meeting at Netflix, which is pretty messed up. Does this make Rick the villain? Maybe.
Who needs dreams? I'll just hang out with you and go on adventures and do whatever you want to do, forever.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, if that's what you want.
Number 7. Beths Mytholog. Beth and Jerry taking part in couples counseling sounds like a swell idea. Instead, the alien facility births one of the most vicious baddies in Rick and Morty. To showcase how each partner perceived the other, a mytholog is created from the other's mind.
And we will now render Jerry's perception of Beth with artificial biological life. Interesting.
What the hell is that? Take that back! You do not think that about me!
Jerry's version of Beth is basically a xenomorph with her face, who goes on a rampage with Worm Jerry's help. But her plan doesn't end there. Beth's Mytholog wanted to construct an army of Jerrys to take over the universe.
I want Jerrys. An army.
An army of Jerrys.
The value of his subservience is wasted on you. I will use it to dominate the universe.
If it wasn't for human Beth and Jerry coming to an understanding and creating good mythologs of each other to destroy her, Xenobeth would likely have turned the universe to ash.
Stop! This representation displeases me.
Number 6. Night Summer. Witnessing Rick being tied up by the Dark Smiths was one of the scariest things we've seen on the show.
You see, Night You is not in charge. Night I am.
We still see their glowing, haunting eyes whenever we close our eyes. Anyway, the Elder Sanchez created the Somnambulator, a device that allowed them to unconsciously perform tasks as they slept, mostly so Rick and Morty could have sick abs. But that all goes wrong when Science Grandpa is stubborn about rinsing plates.
If you refuse to clean your dishes, then I will have to do it for you.
Night Summer leads the unconscious family. Her unemotional and conniving personality led to her side defeating the Daytime Smiths. If it wasn't for the group splashing out all their money and choosing to end their existence by destroying the Somnambulator, they would have remained in charge.
Whoa, how long have we been asleep?
It can't be that long. Oh my god. No! They killed the Choco Taco!
Number 5. Storylord. While he technically didn't face off against the real Rick and Morty during his debut in Never Ricking Morty, Storylord is still one of their biggest threats.
Rick and Morty.
Storylord. I should have known you were behind this, and I did.
Who is this guy?
He's like a Matrix space Frasier. Let's get this fight over with, nerd.
After all, as the conductor of the story train, he used narratives and continuity to wreak havoc on the duo across dimensions. It took Rick and Morty using Storylord's own powers against him by praying to Jesus and trapping the conductor in a Christian children's program to defeat him.
I beg your pardon? God damn!
My lord, my god!
At least briefly. He returned in the episode Full Meta Jack Rick, where he kidnapped his creator Jan to help take motivation from the universe. But when the true Rick and Morty catch up to him, it eventually ends in Jan smothering Storylord.
Joseph Campbell says you have to be the one to put him down.
Wait. Joseph Campbell also says you have to use this brand new limited edition Rick plush available only on rick-plush.biz. Supplies are limited. Act now.
Number 4. Reggie. In the episode Child Rick of Mort, the writers took a page out of Maury Povich's playbook with some relationship drama. After being told by Gaia that he's the father of the sentient planet's children, Rick and Beth become the architects for the clay-like offspring civilization.
God, you are such a space nerd.
I'm not a nerd. We're raising a society here, Beth. If we want them to be self-sufficient, they need to get out into space.
Well, when the real daddy turns up in the shape of Reggie, Rick uses science to battle the god. However, not even his doodads could match the might of Zeus, who wipes the floor with Rick in a fistfight, granted with god shenanigans.
Only lesson they need is right here. Fear. And it looks like school's out, bitch.
I think you mean school's in.
If it wasn't for Morty and Summer being a deus ex machina and accidentally flying a spaceship through Reggie's head and ending him, Rick would have met his demise.
Little boopas, come on now. You kids, you did real good here. You did good.
Number 3. Tammy Gutterman. Some villains you have some sympathy for, and you can empathize with their actions. But then there's Tammy Gutterman. After Rick and Morty dipped to Dimension C-131 after the Cronenberg fiasco, this version of Tammy made her first appearance in Rixie Business, hooking up with the delightful bird person.
Tammy, I should let you know, I just got out of a highly intense soul bond with my previous spirit mate.
I'm not looking to get into a soul bond. I'm just looking for...
I believe Bird Person can arrange that.
By the Wedding Squanchers, Tammy announced she was a Galactic Federation agent, then wiped out Bird Person and several others in the massacre on her wedding day.
Everyone here is under arrest for crimes against the Federation.
L'chaim!
Tammy, what are you doing?
Sit your bird ass down.
Tammy?
To make it worse, she cruelly played Frankenstein by repurposing BP into Phoenix Person. Tammy later met her demise after trying to capture Space Beth, leading to Rick taking her out for ending his best friend and making him go to a wedding.
You made me go to a wedding.
Number 2. Rick Prime. Rick from C-137 is bad enough, but there's a version much worse than him. While it started with a slightly edited version of events in the episode The Rick Shank Rickdemption, the reality of what Rick Prime did to our Rick was essentially the same.
Pass. Excuse me? Bro, Ricks don't pass on this. Who do you think you are? A different kind of Rick, I guess. Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
This was later demonstrated in the episode Rick Mirai Jack, where Morty watched Rick's memory of the incident, showing he rejected Prime's help to stay with his family. Later on, an explosive was dropped by Prime, ending the lives of Rick's wife Diane and his daughter Beth. Rick went dimension hopping to take out Prime, but he never achieved it. Instead, he remained one step ahead, as shown in the episode Solarix.
Oh, you found me! I shoot the first monitor too. Listen, I'm not here. Or am I?
But Rick will get Prime one day. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. King Jellybean. Hiding his royalty, the king attempted to assault Morty in the bathroom.
Destroy it. Our people will get more from the idea he represented than from the jellybean he actually was.
Mr. Nimbus. The ruler of the ocean is Rick's nemesis, a title not given out to any villain.
Richard, you have desecrated the sacred treaty betwixt land and sea. Now face the wrath of your once and eternal foe, Mr. Nimbus.
Sorry? Who is that?
My nemesis.
Supernova. Masquerading as a hero, Supernova wiped out a planet, many citizens, and her lover.
It's the galaxy's faith in the Vindicators that keeps the galaxy secure.
Yeah, I feel safer already. No doubt. Who do we make the check out to? I will say, we are getting some good licks in while choking to death.
Toxic Rick. As the combination of Rick's so-called negative aspects, Toxic Rick toxified the world.
After 70 years of being bottled up inside a sentimental jackass, I finally get to live my own life. You said we were merging. I lied, dumbass.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Evil Morty. With a simple eye patch and an eerie theme tune showcased in the episode Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, Evil Morty became a standout baddie in the animated show.
This is the receiver. Yeah, but where's the transmitter?
He uses his cunning, ruthlessness, and unusually high intelligence for a typical Morty to exact revenge against Rick's and Morty's. EM took control of the Citadel as its president, coldly icing his campaign manager, who discovered the tragic truth.
That Morty is not what he seems.
Yeah, well, no Morty seems like a president.
He won?
Yeah, it was a blowout.
He would go on to try and take out Rick and Morty, then breach the central finite curve in the episode Rick Mirai Jack, which led to the near destruction of the Citadel and the demise of many Ricks and Mortys. Now, it remains to be seen what Evil Morty will do next. Which Rick and Morty invention would you like to exist in the real world? Let us know below.
I use science to uncurse the items for cash, and you get to keep the powers.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.